What's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live this Tuesday evening edition. Great to have you with us tonight. A lot of interesting things to talk about, and we are going to get down to it, boppers. But before that, if I could just ask you guys to hit that like button. That's the number one thing you can do to help out the channel like this and reach more people. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steele Live. I'm, of course, Steele. It's great to have you with us. We've got an awesome, eccentric, incredible community here, and I want you, yes you, to be a part of it. So hit subscribe, hit all on that notification bell, and descend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Lastly, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's obviously hugely appreciated for all the time and efforts put forth. And finally, you can get 3 free stocks through my partnership with WEBULL. Now, the WEBULL link to my partnership is pinned at the top of the chat. If you don't already have a WEBULL account, I would encourage you to sign up for one, because you don't even have to buy any stocks. You simply have to sign up for a WEBULL account and put as little as 1 penny in that account to qualify to get your 3 free stocks. It's free money on the table there, and I noticed that more and more of you folks have been taking advantage of that. So yeah, we got an interesting show to go over tonight. Definitely. Some fun animated topics have come down the pike since 24 hours ago, frankly. Let's see who's active in the chat tonight so far. We've got Bang Stun, we've got Emperor Doge, we've got Audio Freak, welcome Audio Freak, Alan Schneider, of course, Kai Lynn, good to see Mr. Lynn, Dylan McDougal, good to see you, the Zombie Doge Army, Keith Havens, Scotty Suitcases, good to see you, Scotty, Big Buck, what's going on? Diamond Hands Freddy, of course. Low Roller as well. Truckin' All Day. Did I miss anyone that's active yet? Keith Havens, I think I already gave a shout out to. Mama Crypto, of course. Hunter Wayne. And the list goes on. So, what has been going on, fam? What's going on? Well, the market continues to fall. That much we know. The market continues to fall. Dogecoin, for the most part, trading around 13 cents today. Let's take a look at where the market is right at this moment, and we'll go over some numbers, and I'll give you my thoughts on where I think things are headed. Right now, we've got Bitcoin trading right at about 38,000. Ethereum at about 2,600, a little bit above 2,600. AVAX now trading at about $76. Dogecoin right now, just a little bit above 13 cents. Down, or not down, actually up over the last 24-hour cycle for 5%. So we were actually getting beat up even more before that. It still puts Dogecoin down at about 12% for the week. But in context of everything else that's happening, this is perfectly congruent with what the rest of the market is doing, perfectly congruent with the behaviors of Bitcoin. And of course, we're still living in a Bitcoin dominant market, so that makes sense. Bitcoin down 13% over the last week and up about 4% over the last day. So we are seeing some signs of recovery over the last 24 hours here. And of course, we want to see more of that. I told you the night before last that I did think that things were likely going to get a bit worse before they got better. And I do think this is a shakeout process. I do think this is a multi-prong scenario of why this has been occurring. Everything from the executive order announced by our current president to a kind of lagging economy and very high interest rates. And of course, the stock market is getting beat up pretty excessively as well, and the crypto market is preceding that. Not to mention this huge tension going on between Russia and the Ukraine, of course, which is having a pretty profound impact on the crypto market as well. So I got my coconut milk here. So accumulatively, these are the things that I believe are far and away having the most impact on the bearish trends that we see before us today. I think that the tensions will ease on a number of these things. One of them, the wild card being the economy and inflation. I don't see that getting better anytime in the near future, but I do think people are going to readjust accordingly. But the other things, I think we do stand a pretty good probability of the tension that's been mounting to ease up, and consequently, the tensions that have been placed on the market and all the fear index that we have been seeing in relation to the crypto market. I think that needle is going to move a little bit more towards the greed end of things. Let's see what you guys were talking about in the chat here. What's up, Silverbar? Welcome. Jesse Lee, welcome as well. Welcome new viewers. Again, feel free to subscribe. Love to have you stick around. Scott, I can't answer that question. Not on not on this show. Yeah, so a few of you guys were talking about Upshot's YouTube channel. He went under the name. He relaunched a channel under the name Chris Crypto. It's been about a week now since that channel was eliminated. It's through my understanding, the cause for that elimination was people mass reporting his channel, and it kind of it deplatformed him. And so you can still get a hold of Chris if you choose that's the content you want to follow through Twitter. He's still active on Twitter. I know he's running a Patreon group as well. I mean, look, I understand the resentment and the anger some people have towards him. I get it. I get it. At the same time, it's just my opinion that, you should just let people be, okay? If that's not content, if that's not somebody that you want to support, totally fine, totally understandable. I respect that. But kind of getting together with these kind of, cancel culture campaigns within the Doge community, so the guy can't even run a YouTube channel anymore, even if he wants to. It's just not the way I think about things. It's not the way I think about things. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Mr. Lin coming in with a $3 super chat, starting things off, the first super chat of the night. Appreciate that, Mr. Lin. How's it going? Pretty darn good, all things considered. Gadget Dude, hey, Steven. This is Greek Cigar Freak. I changed my Twitter name. Hey, welcome back, Greek Cigar Freak. I haven't seen you in the mix in a bit, and now you are Gadget Dude. So welcome back into the fold, my friend. Savi Doge Army. You guys are funny. Let's get to the top of the stories now, guys. Let's see here. Just going to my notes. Benzinga reporting. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin recover thanks to dip buying and seller exhaustion. Analysts say watch out for these two key levels, says this analyst. And what did I tell you? I said actually I believe it was on last night's show, I don't think the shorts are going to be able to keep up with this. I think when it came to the aforementioned on this article, I literally said whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin, there's more than enough support within those communities to really capitalize and want people that are eager to take advantage of those big old dips. And that's what the market is showing, what happened today. And I agree. I attribute this somewhat recovery anyway, among the aforementioned, to what Benzinga has concluded here. By the way, this is written by the person with the most amusing name on the writing staff at Benzinga. It's Shivdeep Diwali. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of the article. Cryptocurrencies moved higher alongside stocks futures Monday evening. S&P futures and NASDAQ futures were seen trading at 0.54% with a 0.78 higher. Fear has not subsided in the cryptocurrency markets. The Fear and Greed Index Alternative flashed extreme fear. The index was signaling neutral last week. Edward Moya, senior market analysis for Owanda, attributed the gain in cryptocurrencies to dip buying and seller exhaustion. I agree with him. I think this was a twofold situation here. A combination of dip buying and extreme exhaustion from the sellers and the shorts. Bitcoin was getting dangerously close to low levels that were seen after it lost over half its value in January. Cryptos remain the ultimate risky asset, and the escalation in reference to the escalation of the Russia-Ukraine situation, will likely keep the volatility elevated with swings to 20% in either direction. Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Russia-Ukraine situation can, depending on how that goes, can be responsible single-handedly for huge swings for better or worse in the crypto market. So keep a close eye on that situation. I think it's having a tremendous and will continue to have a tremendous effect on the market for better or otherwise. Moya noted that both monetary tightening and the current Russia-Ukraine geopolitical tensions are getting close to being priced in. And that means they're getting close to being readjusted and normalized. I don't think the normalization with getting that situation priced in, as he says, I don't think that's going to happen super soon like he's implying. But I do think it will happen over the course of the next 3 or 4 weeks. Cryptocurrency trader Justin Bennett. Now, Justin Bennett has very, very bullish predictions, and ones that I, of course, hope take place. But let's see what he has to say. Tweeted that the Apex coin needs to reclaim the 38.6 and 39.6 levels. He said that there's a good chance that Tuesday marked the low for the next few weeks. Still cautiously bullish on BTC, well above 35K, he said. But for now, Bitcoin needs to reclaim 38.6 and 39.6. Those are the levels to watch. Yeah, for the most part, I would agree that those are the levels to watch from everything that I've been analyzing on my own over the last few days. Those do seem to be the thresholds, particularly the 38.6 level. On-chain analytics firm Glassnode noted in a newsletter in the hallmark bear markets is a lack of on-chain activity. And it goes on, and it goes on. But I think the main points that I wanted to address to you guys, I did. And I do believe that the Russia-Ukrainian situation is playing a huge, huge role on how the market is reacting and behaving right now. But I do think it will get normalized. I do think it will kind of get fixed into the system. But I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I don't even think it's going to happen in the next 3 or 4 days. But I would look anywhere between the next 2 to 4 weeks for that to normalize as far as the effect it has on the market. One True Adam. Steven did some laundry. He has an undershirt tonight. It happens. Sometimes you feel like a shirt. Sometimes you don't. Remy is actually chilling. She's sleeping. This is one of the few shows she's actually not laying behind me right now. She's actually in my bedroom asleep, asleep on the bed, which is actually very unusual for her. But the weather here today has been extraordinarily cold and extraordinarily icy. We had ice warnings everywhere, where a lot of businesses and schools were closed today as a result. It was one of those days where I went out actually for a little bit in my Jeep. It was just had a huge shield of ice just wrapped in the whole thing. And I had to let my car run for a good 15-20 minutes before I could even chip away the ice off of those windows so I could run the errands that I need to take care of. So I think it's one of those chilling days where everyone's just batten down the hatches and not really doing a whole lot. Swift Lipinski, good to see you. He says, good time to accumulate. You know who else agrees with you, Swift? You know who else agrees with you? And I think this would probably be a good time for me to bounce over to that story. And this one comes courtesy of Business Insider. Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin says crypto builders would welcome a bear market as it would clear out less viable apps. Vitalik Buterin said over the weekend that many people in crypto would be happy if digital assets kept falling in prices. A slump reveals which projects are sustainable in the long term, the Ethereum co-founder told Bloomberg. He said crypto feels like it has flipped from being niche to part of the mainstream in financial markets. I agree with that. Vitalik Buterin has said many crypto developers wouldn't be unhappy to see a continued slide in the price of digital currencies, as a slump could clear out less viable projects. Cryptocurrencies have fallen in recent weeks alongside of stocks, and investors grew more cautious about taking risks given persistent rises in inflation, expected interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve, and geopolitical tensions. but the prospect of even more losses in a bear market, generally where prices fall 20% from a recent high, won't deter some in the crypto world, Buterin told Bloomberg. This is a direct quote from Vitalik. The people who are deep in crypto, listen very carefully, especially at building things, a lot of them welcome the bear market, he said in an interview published on Saturday. The winters are a time when those applications fall away, and you can see which projects are actually long-term sustainable. Like both in the models and in the teams and their people, the Ethereum co-founder said, I completely agree 100% with everything that Vitalik Buterin expressed in regards to crypto winter, in regards to pretty much everything he said in this most recent interview on Saturday. Now listen, the silver lining to a crypto winter, the silver lining to an excessive bear market is a thinning out of the herd. Only the strongest survive. It has a natural Darwinian effect, right? So those, I think we're pretty well aware. I think most of us could safely conclude that the crypto market started getting incredibly overly saturated. I think last time I checked, it was estimated that there were over 15,000 different crypto projects out there, most of them SHIT coins. And this bear market is going to clear out a lot of those projects. And I think it's kind of like a necessary part of the cycle, right? It's a necessary part of the cycle where only the strong survive. So it is a good time to do a couple things here, folks. Re-examine your portfolio. Which ones do you think are going to survive the crypto winter? Which ones do you not think are going to survive? And you need to ask yourself, you have to ask yourself very hard decisions at this point. The ones that are very questionable to you, which are usually going to be on the lower market cap, which are usually going to be, red light district coins, do you think they realistically can recover? At that point, you just need to look at the team. You need to look at the community. Is the community waning a lot, or is there a strong, dedicated community that's still very active on a daily basis? Is the team seem very dedicated and active on an almost daily basis? In my opinion, these are the two things you want to look for as you begin to re-examine your portfolio going into a crypto winter. And if the answer is yes to both of those, then chances are it's probably worth sticking around. If the answer is no, then you have to look and calculate how much money you've lost on your investment already and what it's worth now. And is it even worth selling at that point? Because sometimes you can, let's say you put $1,000 into a really super high risk, high reward investment, and right now it's down to like $100 or less. Well, at that point, in my opinion, anyway, it's just my opinion. These are just my opinions. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, all the disclaimers. But in my opinion, I'd rather just risk it for the biscuit after you've lost that much. You might as well, on the chance that it could see a revival and you could get more of your money back on your return. So those are things to consider as we move into what is feeling more and more like an increasing bear market, increasing crypto winter. But I don't think this is a bad thing necessarily. I think this is a necessary part of the cycle. Furthermore, it offers a lot of investment opportunities and offers a lot of tastier gains that many of us would have previously been able to realize, right? I think most of us, perhaps even watching, most of you even perhaps watching the show, haven't been involved as a crypto investor for more than a year or so, give or take, right? And I think there's probably a fair amount of you that are looking at your largest investments in your portfolio, and you're in the red simply not because you don't believe in the project, not because you've lost faith in it. I think I can safely conclude that most people watch this show on a regular basis are strong long-term holders over the course of years when it comes to their main investments in their portfolios. But you didn't get a chance to get Dogecoin at 13 cents. You didn't get a chance to get Ethereum at 2,600. You didn't get a chance to get Bitcoin under 40,000. You didn't get a chance to get AVAX at under $80. And it goes on. Well, this offers a lot of opportunity. In so many words, this is what Vitalik Buterin was saying as well. So anyway, just some thoughts to consider there. Let's see what's going on back in the chat. Swiss says, I'm liking my ETH reflection projects right now. Keep accumulating. Yeah, nice little passive income. That is probably the main argument for not moving all of your investments onto a cold wallet, right? Is some of those interest rates, particularly on Voyager, are very competitive. By the way, if you don't already have a Voyager account, I personally like it. I just think it's got it's a very user-friendly, intuitive, simple, and expedient experience, in my opinion. And I got a partnership code in the description of this video and all of my videos. And with that partnership code, if you use it upon sign up, you'll get same-day approval and you'll get $25 in free Bitcoin. So again, free money on the table there when you start trading. So let's see what's going on here. Julio, good to see you in the mix. He must have snuck in there somewhere along the way. X-Pac as well. Welcome. I think we're caught up. Right? And it looks like somebody that may have been somebody named King Gay. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Swift Lipinski. Solana under $90 is a huge buy for me. Yeah, I mean, see, exactly. Speaking of which, I have another story that I wanted to get to in regards to the most popular DeFi projects, Solana and others. I'm just bouncing around out of order here. Here it is. Okay. Actually, the Motley Fool, believe it or not, reported this. Motley Fool has kind of converted from all crap to sometimes crap. I think they realized that in order to stay relevant and keep a lot of clicks on, they can't just bash cryptocurrency every day. So now they've actually hired new staff members who know a lot more about cryptocurrency and are pro cryptocurrency and are kind of working them in the mix now. Anyway, this next article was titled Prediction. This cryptocurrency will be the next Ethereum. This blockchain has quickly become a sizable ecosystem of software and services. And he goes on to write about this particular cryptocurrency. Obviously, the clickbait, you're wondering, well, what is the next Ethereum, according to this guy? Ethereum is an ecosystem of decentralized applications and financial services. As Ethereum has become increasingly congested, transaction speeds have slowed and fees have risen. And that currency that he's saying will likely be the next Ethereum is Avalanche. He says Avalanche is a faster, cheaper alternative to ETH, and it's growing quickly. That's AVAX for the call letters on that, guys. So AVAX scalability keeps costs low. Compatibility expands the use cases. Utility could supercharge adoption, etc., etc. I think he makes a pretty strong case for AVAX. I think the only main thing that I do disagree with the author on this article is I don't think AVAX is going to replace Ethereum. I think Ethereum is likely even going to ascend further to a number one spot eventually, superseding Bitcoin. But that being said, I think there's plenty of room in the market for AVAX to excel in both popularity and utility additionally to that. And I think that's going to be the most likely scenario. I'm very bullish on AVAX. I'm very bullish on Avalanche. I've recognized all the strengths that it brings to the table. Much of what this author, Trevor, brought up in this article. And we are seeing a lot of new adoption happen with AVAX now behind the scenes, particularly in the NFT market. We're seeing a lot of new NFT lines begin to launch and work to launch on the AVAX chain. So I think there's a lot of gains to be made there with AVAX. Again, not telling you what to do, just my opinions, guys, just my opinions. But I thought that was overall a pretty astute observation. And I think there's plenty of room in the market for Solana to keep excelling, AVAX, even Luna Terra, and Ethereum. I think you're only going to continue to see explosions in popularity and adoption when it comes to DeFi. So myself, my portfolio primarily consists of a combination of your tried and trues, your highest market cap cryptocurrencies, whether it's Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum. Dogecoin is my number one position, by the way. And a combination of that and DeFi. So just letting you know where my head's at in regards to that. CBS News reporting, guys, cryptocurrency prices plunge as Ukrainian crisis intensifies. The price of major cryptocurrencies is slumping as the conflict between Russia and Ukraine escalates. Bitcoin fell to 36,370 on Tuesday after being as high as 44,000 a week ago. While other popular digital currencies, including Ethereum, PIPL, and Solana, do they mean Pipple or Ripple? I think that was a typo. Pipple. It says it's Pipple. It's got to be Ripple, aka XRP. Also tumbled recently. Yeah, it's XRP. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Analysts say the decline now shows that cryptocurrency are a poor choice for investors seeking stability in periods of market turmoil. Well, that's what analysts. Some analysts say that, but not all analysts. This is kind of coming from CBS, so it's a legacy media. President Biden said on Tuesday afternoon, announced new sanctions against Russia as a result of what he calls Russian invasion of Ukraine in response to Russian President Vladimir Putin's move. Mr. Biden said the sanctions closely coordinated with allies and partners who target two large banks in Russia and its sovereign debt. I agree. I do think that this conflict and these tensions are having a profoundly negative impact on the market. But I do think the tensions, as far as how it is affecting the crypto market, I don't think this is going to last super long, folks. That's just my instinct and inclination on it. So, Pipple. Somebody, you know what? Keep an eye open because somebody's going to create a Pipple token probably within the next 3 hours here. Audio Freak says Pipple for the people. I'm going to watch. I'm going to see if Pipple pops up and throw $100 at it and then sell it off in a couple hours. Oh, man, guys. Oh, man. Now, this is kind of a big story in Doge circles. I thought this was really cool. Dogecoin-inspired restaurant opens in Dubai, accepts crypto payments for mouth-watering burgers. Yes, this really happened, guys. A cryptocurrency-based restaurant is open in Dubai and is accepting payments. And every major crypto asset for food based on the meme-inspired cryptocurrency Dogecoin, the restaurant is a virtual one available through delivery. According to Time Out Dubai, the virtual restaurant was launched by Rocket Kitchens, a chain of virtual restaurants, and its menu was carefully curated by two top chefs to serve all American favorites, including signature beef, chicken, and mushroom Swiss burgers, among others. The virtual restaurant reportedly accepts payments on all major crypto assets, including Doge, BNB, Crow, XRP, and USDT. The restaurant is looking to help boost crypto adoption in the let's just say UAE, and with its founders being early Doge adopters. So that's what I heard too. The guys that are founded, and it's called Doge Burger, the guys that founded Doge Burger and launched it were very early Doge investors and did very well off of their Doge investments and kind of wanted to give back and help the process of pushing Dogecoin to further adoption. So I think this is great. I think this is awesome. Furthermore, the pictures of the burgers look really good. They looks like super good quality ingredients, not like nasty flat McDonald's kind of stuff. It was very bountiful, hearty, fresh looking food. And I think I even saw a Doge burger that had like fries like on the burger, I think, but it looked really good. It was stacked high. According to the outlet, the virtual restaurant was even founded using profit from the founders' early bet on Doge. Yeah, see, I told you. It's worth noting, however, that Doge Burger is not the first restaurant in the UAE to accept cryptocurrency payments, with some enabling the options back as for 2014. The restaurant is opening shortly after Elon Musk and Doge co-creator Billy Marcus pushed McDonald's to accept the meme-inspired cryptocurrency as payment methods. We don't need McDonald's. We're going rogue now. We're just straight up starting Doge Burger. Who needs McDonald's? We got Doge Burger now, guys. Doge Burger now. We got a $10 super chat from Truck on All Day. Thank you, Truck on All Day. Super appreciate it. Steven, will you trade crypto options summer 2022 when Coinbase and Crypto.com open derivatives? I mean, great question. A bit I will. Yeah, I will be adjusting accordingly to when that happens. I can't imagine me making any super huge major sweeping trades during that time, but I will be augmenting and trading some limited options there, trucking all day. And thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So there we have it, guys. Doge Burger is here. I couldn't find a Twitter page on Doge Burger, but if someone finds it, please DM it to me so I can help promote them. I'd love to help promote Doge Burger. If anybody is a rep or works with Doge Burger and you're listening or watching this right now, get in touch with me. I'd be happy to work with you guys. I love the concept. I love the idea. And I love, I want to help the process of Dogecoin adoption in any way I can. Speaking of which, Billy Marcus has been very active on Twitter with the hashtag, what is it? Doge Twitter tip jar. Doge Twitter tip jar. Hashtag Doge Twitter tip jar. And Billy Marcus said he's dedicated to tweeting about it at least once a day until he makes it a reality. There's also a, what do you call it? Not a contract. You know, when a bunch of people, having a moment, a bunch of people sign something to get, momentum on it. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this word. I'm sure you guys will clue me in the comments. But there is one of those going around right now to help further that cause of trying to get Doge as accepted currency on Twitter, Twitter's tip jar. And Doge is the original tipping cryptocurrency, so it would only make sense, right? We already have Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, that's great. The next step is Doge, so it's hashtag Doge Twitter tip jar. Make sure you tweet that out if you can. Show support for that cause if you can. If Doge is your thing, like many of us here. Petition, thank you. Petition's the word I was looking for, trucking all day. Sometimes you just get those brain freezes and you're reaching for the obvious and it's just, you can't grasp it. But yeah, petition's the word I'm looking for. So thank you guys. Make sure you sign the petition if you're bullish on the Doge like many of us here are. And let's keep that Dogementum going strong and help make that a reality. Scotty says a Doge swear jar. Well, that could be a pretty costly experience. Guys, I'm kind of burning up over here. I'm going to open up a window in my apartment to get myself some more fresh air. So while I do that, you fine folks just hang tight, and I will be back on the screen momentarily. So don't go anywhere. All right. There we go. Gotta have my fresh air. Much better. And we're back, folks. So thank you for waiting. Let's get to the next story here, guys. Yahoo's news reporting today. The Joe Rogan Experience, Spotify's flagship podcast, mysteriously vanished a few times now from the streaming platform, twice in the span of just 1 week. Joe Rogan's podcast disappeared from Spotify's catalog both on Monday and Friday. The first outrage led to a speculation that Spotify had blocked Rogan. The New York Times or the Los Angeles Times reported. Spotify said that the first incident was due to technical issue, but did not respond to Monday's outage. The Joe Rogan Experience is a top podcast, and Spotify disappeared from the streaming platform's mobile apps and website twice within a week. Several media outlets are reporting. The popular show also vanished for a bit on Friday. Spotify said at the time that several other podcasters had been affected and ended up playing technical issues. Rolling Stone reported, hour-long shortage instigated speculation among fans that Rogan had been blocked from the platform. Well, Spotify hasn't said why the podcast went down the second time. The outages occurred several weeks after Rogan drew backlash for spreading so-called misinformation, and became the center of debate about free speech on the platform. Musicians Neil Young and Joni Mitchell both asked Spotify to remove their music from the platform in protest on Rogan's comments. So much for what keep on rocking in the free world, right? But I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. What I do know is that this is awfully coincidental, right? It doesn't look good. Could this been a deliberate job from the inside to cause some platforming issues with the Joe Rogan podcast and people being able to access it through Spotify? Or was it just genuinely unfortunate timing of two different glitches that affected the Rogan podcast? You decide. I do have to admit that the timing of it is suspicious. Of course, there's no way at this time to prove conclusively one way or another, but you know. One True Adam says, if you work for CVS, how do you get paid in Doge? I don't know. I haven't heard about this. Can you get paid in Doge if you work at CVS? I'm not sure. I don't know. I know CVS is carpeted. I know that's one distinct quality that they have over other pharmacies is most CVSs are carpeted. Let's see here. Let's go to the next one here. We're going to take a little detour away from cryptocurrency just for a couple minutes here, guys. How many of you seen the Tinder Swindler? Anybody else watch this movie / documentary on Netflix? I had a chance to take it in and found it moderately amusing. The Tinder Swindler's bodyguard, the guy that played his bodyguard, issues a demand from Netflix. Apologize now. This is interesting. The so-called Tinder Swindler isn't the only one who got a bad rep from the Netflix documentary. His bodyguard thinks he did too, and now he's threatening legal action. If you've seen the doc, you know we're talking about Pietre, I think that's his name, how you pronounce it, who was prominently featured as the personal security guard for Simon. And some people think that the doc makes him seem like he was in on all the alleged scams. And that's what he and his team are saying anyway. And they think it hurt his reputation and ability to work. So they've fired off a cease and desist letter to Netflix, much like Simon dealing with one of his girlfriends. They have a lot of demands. Yeah, kind of interesting. His rationale in all of this is Netflix never got permission to use his image or likeness, nor did it include his side of things. His attorney says the current depiction of him as it stands, namely that he knew what Simon was doing, is completely false, and they insist that he was completely out of the loop on that front. I find this a bit hard to believe, and I could be wrong, but the reason why I find it hard to believe on this bodyguard's end of it is because in that documentary there's clear footage that was staged between Simon and him, where the bodyguard appeared to be a bleeding head wound, and he was in the back of a supposed ambulance, and he said that this was a consequence of the people that were after him, and they froze all his assets, and that's why I need to ask random girls on Tinder for a lot of money. So I don't know. To me, it seems like this bodyguard played a key role in that level of deception. But again, I could be wrong. But I don't know what y'all think. But I don't know. Also, it's kind of like another kind of notable thing in that documentary. All the women that got swindled by this guy, they all kind of started off by introducing themselves as saying, "I've been on Tinder a really long time. I have got like 1,000 matches." And it's just like, I don't know if you want to start by admitting that on camera. It's just kind of like, it's kind of funny because these women could have chose anyone. They obviously got a ton of matches. They don't want it. They weren't drawn to the nice, stable guys that would have treated them well. They were drawn by their own volition to the scammer who created a very colorful narrative of danger and uncertainty and they were like moths to a flame in it. So I'm not excusing this guy by any means. He's a total sleazeball. He's just a despicable person. But at the same time, it did kind of take two to tango, and there was a certain level of kind of willful naivety, if you will, I think, on behalf of the women that were involved there. I mean, how could you not? How could you not? Let's see here. Steele stand-up comedy. Yeah, I don't know about that, guys. I don't know. I would need a lot more. I think I would need a lot more practice on the comedy. Speaking of which, did you guys catch out my latest video short? I thought it was kind of funny. Hope you got a kick out of that. I'm gonna try to do more material like that in addition to my live streams. It is a bit time consuming, but I think it'll be worth it. It is something I enjoy. So I'm gonna try to make a more concerted effort to do more video shorts, both in relation to on the news end of things and what I'll be covering, and just funny weird stuff as well. So let's see, what else do I got in my notes here? We got some other fun stuff. To cover for sure. So speaking of which, why don't we pivot to Elon Musk? Why don't we pivot to our friend Elon? Some say that he's tuned into the show before. I don't know. Maybe someday we'll find out if that's true or not. But Elon's been just... he didn't just take the red pill. He downed the whole bottle about 6 weeks ago, it seems. And it's really been showing up on social media. It's been really fun to watch. Really interesting to watch. Now, a tweet reply of his that really stood out to me recently, I thought was absolutely hilarious. I'm scrolling to it right now, guys. Just give me a moment. It was in response to a guy named David Frum. Now, David Frum is an economist of sorts, kind of a very, very establishment guy. And David Frum was essentially attacking Elon Musk. And he was attacking Elon Musk for comparing Justin Trudeau to a particular World War II dictator. And he thought that this was an incredibly poor taste. Well, while David Frum spent years, mind you, comparing our former president to this particular World War II leader. And so Elon Musk called him out on Twitter and specifically called David Frum a hypocritical mega douche. A hypocritical mega douche. I just thought that was really good stuff. There's just something extra amusing about putting mega in front of the word douche as an insult to somebody. I thought it was not only incredibly effective, but pretty amusing. So, hypocritical mega douche, David Frum, kind of got burned there by Elon Musk, and it was I don't know. I just thought that was pretty funny. Now, speaking of Elon Musk, as Fox Business reporting, claps back at Elizabeth Warren, claimed that he paid zero in taxes. So this conflict happened a couple months ago, as you recall, where Senator Elizabeth Warren kind of started some beefs with Elon Musk, and even kind of raising money off of her conflict with him. And Elon was defending himself back and forth with her. Well, it started again. Elon Musk clapped back to Elizabeth Warren, who claimed that he had paid zero in taxes in 2018. Musk cited his multi-billion-dollar anticipated tax bill for 2021. Musk said in 2018, "We've actually seen his tax returns," Warren said Sunday. "You know how much he paid in taxes? One of the richest people in the world? Zero," she claimed. Musk paid no federal income tax in 2018, according to ProPublica report. Musk reportedly lives off loans he takes from Tesla shares when he owns stock through options. Musk responded, however, to a Twitter post that quoted part of Elizabeth's claim but omitted the reference to 2018. And this is what Elon Musk said. He said, "You know how much..." Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to find... Oh, yeah. Musk's response was this: "We'll visit IRS next time. I'm in DC just to say hi, since I paid the most taxes ever in history for an individual last year. Maybe I can have a cookie or something." Now, from my understanding, Elizabeth Warren's claim that he paid zero in taxes in 2018 is a bit misleading because Elon overpaid so much in 2017 that it made up for and covered him through most of 2018. So, you can make a very biased point if you're willing to admit part of a story. So if you're not willing to admit part of the story, then you're going to get much closer to what resembles the truth. So, yeah, kind of interesting to see that dust up re-emerge there. Let's see here. Now, I'm going to pivot to another story by the Babylon Bee. Babylon Bee, this one's for those who know, Babylon Bee is a parody website. It's joke news. Kind of like The Youngin. I thought this one was pretty funny. Those of you who maybe have been raised in church culture will find this a bit more amusing. My father's actually a preacher man, so I'm certainly familiar with this sort of thing. I just thought this was funny. Youth pastor sets Guinness record for most pop cultural references in a single sermon. In San Jose, California, officials from the Guinness Book of World Records certified that youth pastor Landon Smythe of Lifestyle Community Fellowship officially set the record for the highest number of slightly stale pop cultural references squeezed into a single sermon this past Sunday. It was incredible, Mason Jameson, a high school sophomore who regularly attends the services at Lifestyle, recalls. He went on referencing Yeezys to Squid Game to Apex Legends in a single breath. According to one of the officials, Smythe managed to mention 372 different pop cultural subjects during his 45-minute message. This beats out the previous record of 13. I have no idea what the main theme of his sermon was, but he really held my attention the whole time with his mentions of the Kardashians and Minecraft, says 12th grader Aaliyah Leiden. The sermon really spoke to me, said 9th grader Landon Camden, when he used Roblox to illustrate substitutionary atonement. I felt like I finally understood it. Update: the youth pastor has just discovered K-pop and already plans to break his own record this Sunday. I don't know. I just thought that was pretty funny. Do I have anything else here in my notes? I am bouncing around. Let's go to CoinDesk. This article, courtesy of CoinDesk. Frozen Bitcoin tied to Canadian protests lands at Coinbase. Crypto.com. The situation shows the limitations of a government's ability to thwart transactions on decentralized systems, but it also shows the limitations of those systems to circumvent such sanctions. Of course, this is in reference to the protests that have been happening in Canada and the crypto donations that have been happening as a result to some of those groups. Crypto tied to the Canadian truckers protesting certain restrictions have been on the move in defiance of the authorities' orders and freeze funds. Blockchain analysis shows nearly all of the roughly 20 Bitcoin sent to a Tallycoin fundraiser is gone from that address, with only 0.11 Bitcoin left, according to blockchain data. Most of the 30 Bitcoin wallets identified as the Royal Canadian Mounted Police as being attached to the fundraiser have been largely drained as well. That is something. This is kind of a complex issue, but we are seeing it play out in real time. Government's exertion over the blockchain. And it's a bit murky, but overall what has been happening in Canada at the hands of the government there, I think has been rather unfortunate. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, DWAC stock leaps. What's DWAC, you may be asking? That is the stock directly related to Truth Social, which is our previous President Trump's new social media company that had launched just yesterday. TheStreet.com reporting former President Donald Trump's Truth Social is the top download on Apple as of today. And that is still true. I checked it right last minute before I went on this broadcast. Truth Social is the number one downloaded app on the Apple Store as of right now. The launch of the app on President's Day marked nearly 1 year after Trump was permanently suspended from several social media platforms. And he is suspended from Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. My goodness. The app, which was developed by Trump Media and Technology Group, is finding technical support and financial backing from Rumble, as well as some conservative investors, such as former Facebook member Peter Thiel. So we did see a tremendous rise in the DWAC stock. I put a little bit in. I wish I would have put a lot more in. I was feeling a bit trepidatious, but I had a really good feeling that it was going to go up over there the way it has right now. But I do think, if I had to guess, that we're going to continuously see a all-time high in relation to DWAC. Particularly, most of the people that have made accounts, there seems to be an absolute critical mass of support and interest in people signing up for accounts on Truth Social. Consequently, it has led to a backup, kind of a waiting list scenario, similar where you're given a number similar as we're seeing people in relation to their wallets in Robinhood. So they are just trying to keep up with everything. I think my reasoning anyway for why I think DWAC will continuously go up for a bit and why we haven't seen the all-time high yet is when people really start using it. Trump, and I don't want to get too political, and I understand he's a lightning rod. Either people love him or hate him. I get that. I get it. But people follow him. Wherever he goes, the media is going to follow him. He has a tremendous amount of support. So I think it's going to be a very, very busy platform. I think a lot of the media is going to be forced to, whether they like him or not, to make accounts to follow him there. I think this will likely be a viable rival, and also a platform that Rumble that they are partnering with. That combination could be very successful. I'm not saying for sure this is going to happen, but those are my inclinations on the situation at this time. Audio Freak DWAC at 90.65 in let's see what's going on in the chat. What is DWAC at now? I think Audio Freak just told us. Truck Fruito, that's funny. A truck. Let's see what's going on. I'm just checking out your guys' chats right now. Loads of trolls signing up. Whatever, though, free speech is free speech. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've talked about this in the past. I don't particularly care for any social media platform that is overtly, inherently one side or the other. I think in some ways, I like the point of Gab, but I think they're very heavy-handed in one direction. I just want, and I think most of us, we just want a platform where we don't have to worry about being suspended or canceled or deplatformed over terms of service that are very murky and ever-changing and inconsistent and wildly stringent. It causes people a lot of stress, frankly, and it's not right. It's not right. So I think people just want to feel free to express themselves within reason without feeling like they're living under the heel of a just like a hall monitor breathing down your neck at all points. So hopefully Truth Social will be something that will be a platform that exemplifies that. So we'll see. Doge Extra Steve Steele's, man, thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Well, I'm kind of at the end of my notes here, so I'm just kind of freestyling and talking with you folks here for a little bit. Who says free speech and blatant lies are two different things? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of murky, right? Because you want to be able, lies can be a subjective thing according to one's opinion, and so can facts. We do our best to try to, those of us who are well-intentioned, we do our best to navigate those things to figure out where those things lie in terms of truth, but the alternative to, in my opinion anyway, censoring people who you think have different opinions, even people that you think are lying. Now, that's, I will say the exception to this would be blatant levels of harmful slander that are very intentional. Those could be subject to some courts of law. But in terms of people's opinions, many times, even science is actually a very good example. Science is an ever-evolving body of work and data that changes, and is, hey, you have to be very flexible to follow science, and it changes, and things we've known to be true in the past have been proven false in the future or augmented and we just got to be flexible. We have to be flexible, right? So if we get too stringent on what we describe as misinformation, it could be misinformation one day, and a few years in the future, reality, right? So it's my opinion that it's probably best to default on the side of giving people the ability to express themselves as they see fit, provided that they're not actively calling to harm people or maliciously malign and slander. So let's see. Anyway, that was a bit more of a tangent than I wanted to. Go on, but here's another story I kind of wanted to touch on real quick. Brazil moves to regulate cryptocurrency. This comes courtesy of Bitcoin.com. The legislation still needs adoption by the full Senate and lower house before Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro can sign it into law. Under the bill, the virtual asset service providers are required to prevent money laundering and asset concealment while combating criminal organizations, harmful financing for harmful activities, and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, I think these are all, from what I read, I think Bolsonaro's recommendations for the levels of regulation in cryptocurrency in Brazil seem to be all very reasonable. To me, it doesn't seem like terribly an overreach on the Brazilian government there. I think these are, for the most part, from what I've been seeing, are very necessary regulations happening in Brazil, and I think it'll be very helpful and advantageous to us, rather hastening the full-on adoption of cryptocurrency throughout Brazil. So I do see this as a positive step forward. Someone asked why we're talking politics. Well, I'm a bit more of a variety show. I don't like to talk about it much, but I do like to touch on it. Some. Let's see what else we got going on. So, to kind of summarize, guys, I do think that the market is probably going to either stagnate or perhaps even get a little worse before it gets better, even despite the bullish activity we saw today. Now, the good news is we have a body of history, rather, that points to projects like Dogecoin, projects like Bitcoin, projects like Ethereum, projects like VeChain, projects like Solana, AVAX, etc., that show when things get low enough, there becomes a breaking point where the sellers and the shorters get exhausted, and there's a lot of people that are eager to jump in and capitalize on buying those dips. I don't see that changing, and I do see the people that are eager to take advantage of the dips outnumbering the short sellers once we get to around the level that we are now. So will things get lower? Will the market get worse than it is now? I think it could, but I don't think it'll be a lot worse. I think we're kind of seeing the threshold area of when it hits that the people that are eagerly awaiting the dips are outnumbering and outpacing the shorts. So I take solace in that, and I think that we will continue to see that kind of market behavior. But I ultimately am still incredibly bullish, even about 2022 and things coming in 2022. I think we could see some really nice bull action within this year, and I certainly think that huge big things and huge landmark decisions and happenings and events will happen for Dogecoin as we move forward here, folks. $20 super chat from Doge Extra. Thank you. Any thoughts on metaverse gaming tokens? Yeah, I guess I do have. Thank you for Scotty Suitcase says keeping the lights on at Steven Steele HQ, and that's what Doge Extra is doing. I thank you for the super chat. But to answer your broader question there, yeah, I do have thoughts on it. I am invested in several of them. I've fine-tuned my investment strategy on them. I do think I'm still very bullish about the future of the metaverse, particularly as it relates to the gaming DeFi sector of the crypto market. Now, I don't think we're quite at the point where we can safely navigate which one are going to be the huge winners. That being said, I think it's wise if you choose to foray enter the foray of this sector of the market to take profits and keep it moving, or take most of them and leave a little bit and keep it moving while you look for other promising opportunities. Now, I think that this sector of the market is going to create a lot of millionaires, a lot of billionaires. And I think somewhere over the course of the next few years, we are going to get a much clearer picture on who the huge, big winners of that market are going to be. And the folks, obviously, that are going to have investments in those big winners are going to make a gargantuan amount of money. Now, there are some very interesting experiments going on right now that I also think have a lot of very interesting potential, particularly as it relates to the sustainability of NFT lines. And what made me kind of think of it was your name, Doge Extra. I'm holding on. I think I sold only one of my Doge X NFTs, and I've got several of them still. I love the artwork. I love the project. I think the community is pretty cool. And I know that they've been actively working on some sort of a metaverse as it relates to it. But more importantly, what I want to get to, Doge X is one of these NFT lines that is creating its own Doge X token that holders of their NFTs will consequentially receive somewhat of a passive income of airdrops of this token simply for being holders. I think this template is very interesting. I think it's very cool. And I think it you'd give a whole new life and potential to projects like Dogex or others that execute this sort of strategy effectively. So I hope my answer was sufficient for you there. Yeah, I hear you, Bankstun. I hear you, Bankstun. You know, I've obviously expressed my frustration with Upshot and Chris Crypto. You can look up my thoughts on that when that first transpired. It's actually the first content creator to cover it in real time, what was happening there. And if you just do Steven Steele Upshot, you'll see that video. That being said, I don't think it's healthy to hold on to grudges and hold on to and never let people live a mistake down. I just don't think we should strive for a society like that. I do believe that there should be some process towards redemption, and you know, people make mistakes, and you know, but at the same time, I understand why people wouldn't want to have anything to do with him. But also, he wasn't hurting anybody when he came back. He was just doing his thing. He was just doing his thing, you know. And it's unfortunate that he doesn't even have the option to be able to do that on YouTube anymore. But let's see, we got a $5 super chat from Kryptonanian. Krypton. I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Kryptonanian. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for, by the way, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the super chat and the support. Appreciate it. Let's see here. I don't know if I have anything else to add here, guys. If you have any questions for me, feel free to pop them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. Well, to the best of my ability, anyway. If you're not already following me on YouTube, of course. If you're not already following me on Twitter, my Twitter is Mr. Steven Steele, just Mr. Steven Steele. You can find me there now. Yeah, I took off the underscore on it because I finally eliminated my old Steven Steele account. So the only real deal Steven Steele Twitter account is Mr. Steven Steele. That's it. All the other ones, they could be spelled a little bit differently. There's a lot of impersonators out there right now. Don't fall for any of them. I've been hearing that a lot of these fake Steven Steele Twitter accounts have been messaging people, trying to swindle them. So do not fall for it. Do not fall for it. And report those accounts. The only real deal Steven Steele account is Mr. Steven Steele. Is another Upshot interview on the radar. You know, it's pretty difficult because I don't want to track like rabid conflict, but I would be, you know what I would do? You know what I think would be the right platform for that? I would be interested in having a follow-up interview with him over Twitter Spaces. So, you know, and I'm going to ask him hard questions, but every time I do interviews, as you guys know, I try anyway to execute them in the most unbiased way possible. So I think Twitter Spaces might be the best vehicle for that. So that's something I might entertain. Keith is saying good night. Thank you, Keith, for tuning in. I got like 10 messages from you on Twitter. John Sullivan says, those aren't from me, my friend. Those are from the fake Steven Steele accounts. One True Adam says, there's only one True Steven. I see what you did there, my friend. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Diamond Hands Freddy. Alan Schneider asking, any thoughts on energy stocks and energy transfer stocks with the current conflicts? Well, I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I think there's, if you want to play that game, and we know the game of war, it can have some very bullish effects, frankly, on those sectors of the stock market, obviously, particularly as it relates to companies like Boeing and Halliburton and the rest. So all I can say is, if, and it's a big if it looks like that the trajectory is increasingly towards conflict, those could be some smart short-term moves to make. I'll just say that. It's just the way of the world. You know, it's my belief that many times our government, their main motivation towards pushing for conflict, whether it's directly from the employment of our military or pushing and cheering on conflicts in other parts of the globe, is, increasing the business of the military-industrial complex to be able to sell a lot of expensive weapons to different parts of the world. It's very short-term, greedy thinking in terms of what's best for society and the planet, but that's just the way it is, folks. Yeah, if you got any other questions, just let me know, guys. Let me know. A couple guests that I'm going to have on the show soon are Phil Hall. Phil Hall, a crypto writer, journalist from Benzinga. He is going to be on the show for the first time. I went on his podcast a few months ago. We had a great conversation. I'm going to be on a new radio show of his in the near future. I'll have a date for you guys soon on that. But he's going to be back on the show soon. There's also going to be... We're going to get Sadaf back in here, Sadaf Jadran. I'm going to start working her back in on the schedule. I think it's overdue for Nick Balls to come back on, so we're going to try to work him in here as well. I'm going to get Catherine Brodsky, the journalist, back on here. I think she's really cool. Definitely. And I got a couple surprise guests that I'm not at liberty to share with you guys yet, but look for those as well. I got the dip last night. Now I feel warm and fuzzy. Nice move. Last night was the time to do it. Diamond Hands Freddy. I mean, even still, would be, in my opinion, this is still a very advantageous time for accumulation. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Right now, the time in my neck of the woods is midnight here in the Midwest. If you're out on the East Coast, you are a true Doge after darker. About 1:15, or if you're in Florida, it's the same as well. If you're on the West Coast, definitely earlier in the evening, about 10:15 on the PM. Try Jenny Kuta. She's a big Doge supporter. I haven't. I remember her in the past, but I haven't touched base with her in a long time. But yeah, I'm open to suggestions, guys. I'm open to suggestions. I gotta see if I can get Billy Marcus back on here. I never technically had him on my YouTube channel, but I did have a really good one-on-one Twitter Spaces with him almost a year ago now. That lasted like a couple hours. It was a very fascinating conversation and getting inside the mind of Billy Marcus. We had a great talk. So I'm gonna reach out to him and see if he would at least be open to coming back on the channel here. And he's actually the original person that put me in touch with Dogecoin core developer Ross Nickel, and I'm grateful to him for that because Ross and I have become pretty good friends since, and Ross is a great guy. So it seems like there's a fair amount of you guys on the East Coast or in Florida. Where are you guys from? Where's everyone from? Let's do a geographic roll call. We haven't had one of those in a long time. Alan Steiner, Tim Pool needs you to be a guest. I don't think I'm nearly big time enough to be a guest on Tim Pool. I would be happy to go on his show. I just don't think I'm nearly high profile enough to be considered. But but it would be cool. We got someone coming in from Pennsylvania. John Sullivan is off to bed. Thank you for tuning in, John. Appreciate it. Charlotte, North Carolina. New York. New Mexico. Good to see you, Braxton. Michigan. Rhode Island. Denver, Colorado. I feel like Howard Dean in 2003. Philly. In Michigan. Rhode Island. Banks Dunn's 10 minutes from Disney World. That's awesome. I went to Disney World only once when I was in junior high, and I ended up making out with a cheerleader underneath the fireworks at the end of the night, and she actually ended up being from my home state. What are the odds of that? Ohio. Nice. Another Midwesterner. Latino Savage. Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in the mix in a long time. Southeastern Pennsylvania, countryside of it, right in the border of Delaware and Pennsylvania. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful area over there, Scotty. I've got family in the suburbs, about a half hour outside of Pittsburgh. I love Pennsylvania. Portland, Oregon. Jason coming in. I've been to Portland a while, but I had some good times there. Most notable there are all the food trucks and a lot of gentlemen's clubs there as well. Surprising amount. I think I think Portland might even have the most gentlemen's clubs per capita. Latino Savage, Buffalo, New York here. All right, that's right. I forgot that you are from Buffalo. Audio Freak is from 30 minutes from Disneyland. So here we have one community member living right next door to Disney World and one living very close to Disneyland. Oh, Grosse Pointe. Bang Stun. I'm sure then you've seen the movie starring John Cusack, Grosse Pointe Blank. I'm sure that's like, you probably get asked that a lot. What's up? What's up, Bass Fisher? Good to see you. Here on a base in Iraq. Is that true, I Am Human? Well, thank you for tuning in, man. And thank you for your service, and be safe out there. Steven Steele live, coast to coast. That's the great thing about YouTube. That's the great thing about the internet, is people can tune in whenever they want, whatever time zone they are in. Mike Tracy is near Lansing, Michigan. Yeah, my grandparents, when they were alive, they were in Holland, Michigan. I still have relatives up in the Holland area. I'm, of course, half Dutch, and so that would make sense, right? But I love the Holland, Michigan area. I love the Saugatuck area. It's really beautiful, really nice beaches up there as well. All I can say is Costa Rica bound, waves, waves, waves. Sounds good, Julio. It sounds like you're getting ready for an awesome vacation. Yeah, again, I Am Human. Thanks for tuning in, man. Just be safe out there. I've seen the movie, however, I hate John Cusack's acting. Well, John Cusack, in more recent years, I agree, has become increasingly annoying. But I actually think he's a pretty good actor. I'm pretty fond of his earliest work, which is probably his least favorite work, from the 80s when he was usually a young man. Better Off Dead was a movie starring John Cusack that I think was absolutely hilarious. If you haven't seen that movie, despite whatever feelings or inclinations you may have on John Cusack now, Better Off Dead is an incredibly funny movie. Julio says, I'm going to get you surfing again, Steven Steele, with no shark-infested waters. Thank you for that. I would love to get back out there again surfing, guys. Yeah, but I told the story where I was chased by a shark in Kauai surfing. One true Adam Steven, I've been tuning into you since you didn't have a camera. It's just a picture of your face. Yes, that's right. That's right. I was just literally doing just audio. And then I decided to make the big leap and the big bold leap into a live camera. And thank you for this long-term support, Adam. One Crazy Summer, yes, it's great. One Crazy Summer is a funny movie too. It's funny because One Crazy Summer and Better Off Dead, I think they came out like back to back, and they're very similar movies. I believe with maybe even the same director. I got to double check on that, but I believe it may be even the same director. Very similar vibes, but with different themes. Lane Meyer. remember the two guys that would pull up next to him, and one would talk like Howard Cosell? Lane Meyer, the defeated senior in high school, broken-hearted, who couldn't even make the downhill racing ski team. I did have a shark encounter, yes. I was actually bleeding from my forehead because I got pounded in the ocean floor from wiping out. And I was surfing back out, and I put a lot of blood in that water. I attracted that shark. My friend was coming in on a wave with panic in his eyes, and I saw a shark fin rise up behind him. And he was telling me to go in, go in, go in. And it was, it was quite an experience, guys. Hot Tub Time Machine. See? Bankston, I think you do kind of like John Cusack. Once you start thinking about some of the movies, man, he's played some pretty funny movies. I love John. I love Hot Tub Time Machine. Alan Steyer says, Coast to Coast with Steven Steele and George Norrie tonight. Talking aliens and Dogecoin. Aliens and Dogecoin. Actually, I wouldn't mind having a guest like that on here to talk about extraterrestrial stuff just for fun. Who is that? Who's the main guy that seems like the most credible at all that stuff? I think he was on Rogan. What is his name? I know one of you guys in the chat knows his name. I think he would probably be the most interesting guest out of that topic discussion. Bronx Tale was great. Yeah, I agree. Bob Lazar, or Laser, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I assume it's Lazar. Bob Lazar, that's the guy. I would love to get Bob Lazar on the show and have a conversation on Steven Steele Live. What do you guys think about that? If I were to even get a guest like that, would you tune in? What are you guys watching on Netflix these days? I'm watching like Sale Swap or something about folks in Tennessee that listen to a radio station and they're like pickers. They go get stuff to flip it. It's interesting. That stuff's always interesting to me because it's kind of what I do during the day. Everybody's really wild about that becoming Anna or something. And it was starring the same girl that was played one of the lead roles in Ozark. But I liked her character in Ozark a lot better than becoming Anna or whatever. Doge Extra coming in at $20 super chat. Thank you for your generous super chat, Doge Extra. Really appreciate it, man. Steven Steele interview with an alien. Maybe I could get somebody like with a voice transformer of an alien and get them on the other end. That could be fun. Alan Schneider says that would be freaking awesome. So a vote from Alan Schneider. Mike Tracy, any news on the Polygon network on OpenSea being fixed anytime soon? I can barely use the sites. Can never transfer and like to. Good question, Mike Tracy. OpenSea has been amid a lot of turmoil, a lot of security breaches, a lot of scandal in a short amount of time. I think there's a tremendous opportunity for a viable competitor to come along and really take in a good size of the market with them. I don't think that OpenSea necessarily can go the distance of being the most dominant NFT marketplace out there. I'm predicting that even this year we'll see a sizable rise from Coinbase with them launching their own NFT market. Look, if anybody can overthrow or give at least OpenSea a run for its money, I think Coinbase can, given the size and scale of what they're working with there. Once you're at him, Steven Steele interview with Elon Musk. Of course, that would be the holy grail, right? Scotty Suitcase says Elon Musk is that alien. I think a lot of people probably believe that. Of course I would absolutely love that. Again, I'm pretty small time guy, so I don't know how that would become a reality. I of course would be so down for it though. I know he knows who I am, so there's at least there's that. I know he knows who I am. I play a Parker Fly. Hey, welcome Junior Hall. You snuck in there somewhere along the lines. Good to see you. By the way, guys, all of you guys who are members of this channel, thank you for continuing to be members. Thank you for your continued support. Hugely appreciated. Honestly. Nothing on Netflix lately that is a must-see. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Nothing feels like a must-see to me. You know, and Netflix just raised their rates again. And it makes me wonder what other streaming service I could have instead of Netflix. You know what I mean? What do you guys think? What are there any streaming services like monthly subscriptions for around the same price points that you think are better than Netflix? Scotty Suitcase, Steve Steele, you are not small time, brother. Well, well, I have one vote. There. Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate you. I've been watching pizza reviews with Dave from Barstool Sports. Oh, I love those. So those are always great to watch. He's very entertaining. One bite. He came out with his own frozen pizza line that's been immensely successful. I haven't tried it. I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm kind of stuck there. Peacock. Okay, there's a vote for Peacock. It has The Office. That's a good reason. Bankstone says, I've been watching HBO Max and Hulu more than Netflix. I could see particularly HBO Max. Meat Eater is a cool hunting type show. Thank you for the suggestion, Scotty. I did watch a few episodes of it. I did enjoy it. I think that guy's name is Daniel, whatever his name is. But yeah, I did enjoy it. Steven's the man. I'm going to promote your show. That's right. That's you. So Doge Extra has his own show coming pretty soon, right? We're going to talk about Doge X and Dogecoin and some other things. And from the pictures you sent me, it looks like you have a pretty elaborate set that you've constructed. So yeah, keep me posted. Space Force is pretty funny. I gotta say, I wouldn't say it's like the funniest thing, but it's funny enough. I mean, we like Steve Carroll, right? We like Steve Carroll. I've enjoyed Space Force. Caddyshack is on there now. Yes, I saw that. You know what's a really good Bill Murray movie is Rock the Casbah. Anyone see Rock the Casbah? I remember watching it years ago and not really being impressed with it, but I don't think I was paying close enough attention to it at the time. Well, I rewatched it recently. I thought it was quite good. And it's on either Netflix or Amazon Prime right now. Crackle is free. That's right. Thank you for reminding me of Crackle. I forgot about Crackle. Diamond Head's ready, Steve. Steven, you are a true superstar, man. Too kind. Too kind. Thank you for that. I want to watch the new Space Force season. Did it just come out or something? Yeah, well, I appreciate the suggestions, guys. I think I might download Crackle. I think I might take a browse. I had HBO Plus years ago, but maybe I'll cancel my Netflix and engage in HBO Plus. Black Summer is a beast zombie show. Where can I watch Black Summer? I genuinely really like zombie stuff. Oh, it's on Netflix. Got it, Scotty. Thank you for the suggestion. In fact, I might start watching that tonight. Watched Blazing Saddles a couple nights ago. Oh, yes. You wouldn't be able to put that movie out today, that's for sure. All right, I'll definitely check it out. Netflix, yes. I actually tried to register the domain Netflix because I thought it would be a good one to flip and sell, but somebody had already beat me to it. And on that, folks, I think I'm going to call it on this one, man. It was good chatting with you guys. Good just hanging out with you guys. I hope you got something out of the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. I know that I did. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support. Hey, no matter what the market's doing, let's stay positive. Let's keep having fun. We're going to keep doing it to it, right? No matter where the market is at, we've got a strong community here. We're going to keep on having fun, and we're going to keep doing it to it. So rain or shine, I'll be here, guys. Until next time, this is your man, Real Deal, Steven Steele, signing out. Thanks again, guys. Just the bees and birds, the summer hay.